You're this perp back with another video, and just got done watching episode 7 season 3 of Snowfall, and man, we have a lot to talk about tonight. What an episode. But before I get into this episode, hit that like button, hit that sub button, and follow me on Twitter, because I like to put updates and different shit on there. Well, anyways, let's waste no more time. Let's get right into this episode. So this episode, we see a lot of Mel, and it's very Mel focused. She's obviously getting ate out. Like, this is how the episode opens. She's trying to get some more crack, and you just really see her just really declining into the dark side. And it's going to be really interesting to see where this goes after this episode, interested in the future of the series. But with Mel out there, Andre is also going through some different things within this episode. He finds out that Mel isn't at home. He kind of acts nonchalant about it. He actually has this little nightmare or this night terror or something like that of Franklin banging his daughter, and that shit was kind of funny. But he's just, Andre can't catch a break right now throughout this whole season, and she even stole his car, so he has to figure out where the car is at. So he meets up with some of his fellow officers. They're still pretty shady to me, but they get the call and they find out where the car is being impounded at, and just it's pretty much all scrapped. All the parts are being taken out, and now he really knows that he needs to go find Mel. So Andre goes to look for any type of clues to find out where Mel is at. He even runs into Sean, and I'm falling in love with Sean, I swear to God. But he ends up looking through a room, finds out that she's been using up the money that he gave her, and so he's gotta find other options to figure out where Mel is at and where he can find out if she's safe or not, and which leads to my favorite part of this whole episode, seeing Franklin and his family members. You got Sissy, you got Alden, you got Jerome, you got Auntie Louie there, and they're all just having a good time. And I think this is what Franklin always wanted, just his family and just everybody together. And it sucks that it took crack and everything for everybody to come together. And I find that very, very interesting. And that all gets interrupted because who's knocking at the door? Well, just comes through, barging through the door is Andre. And this was great because everybody just stopped and looked at him, and even got Franklin like, what the fuck, you just walked in my house and whatnot. But Andre obviously just wants Franklin's help to find Mel, and thought he knew where she could be at. And Franklin's kind of thinking about it, and he doesn't want to admit it at that time. He doesn't want nothing to do with her, but his mom tells him, look, you gotta help her out. And also Louis stops Jerome from beating Andre's ass. So this begins Franklin's search for Mel. They first stop to him and Leon head over to Fatback's crib to see if he knows any information on how he could find Mel, or where, if anybody knows anything. And Fatback pretty much tells him, nah, I'll put the word out. And then the young kid that Leon recruited tells them he saw Mel with Wanda, and they kind of get into it a little bit. And things between Franklin and Leon get kind of tense, and where Leon has to pretty much check Franklin and let him know, kind of bring him back down to reality, because Franklin tries to throw in Leon's face that Wanda is way worse, and Leon pretty much tells him like, yo, once she hits the rock, it doesn't matter, she's gone. And so they meet up with Man-Boy, and he pretty much tags along with them to help find Mel. And you really see how people kind of fear him, and that there's something to Man-Boy. I don't know what it is. He's playing it something, but he's definitely playing it smart. He's not trying to jump the gun. Very interesting stuff. I want to see more of Man-Boy this season. So, they go pull up to this spot where they got this information from, and these two dudes answer the door, but before they get into they knock on the door, Franklin finds Mel's Spellman shirt all bloodied up, and he asks them about it, and they try to play stupid, and they run up in the house, put guns on him, and then Franklin gets a call, and he finds out where Mel is. And I really liked how they played this up. I was kind of worried for Mel in this situation, like, is she dead? Is she still alive? But now we're going to get into the part where they show exactly what happens to Mel. So what Mel did is she pretty much got bored and decided she wanted to use the money that was given to her for school. She takes her father's car. She ends up running to Wanda, which is a red flag automatically. And, she ends up tagging along with Mel to get some crack. This is where things start to get really bad for Mel, as, she's sitting there at the spot getting ready to get some crack, and these dudes roll up on Mel, steal the car. She's freaking out, but then ends up chilling, smoking with Wanda, and she starts asking her about her necklace, her mom's necklace, and man, which threw me off when I first heard it. So they end up going to the skating ring to get some food and drinks, and they start having a good time, and then things just start getting really weird. Wanda starts bringing up that she's missing a rock. And Mel tells her, like, no, I didn't take any rock. And this was a great scene, because Wanda's like, I think it's about time you had to run that necklace, and just hooks off on Melanie and bashes her face in with the skate and knocks her out. Crazy stuff, but she ends up getting her revenge on Wanda and pulls up on her and smacks her with like a lawn gnome or some shit. Meanwhile, Franklin finds out where Mel is located, and she's at this crack house. And it's just really sad to see him having to go through the whole entire house to find her. Just a mess. It's just, I'll get back to that, but if you were wondering where Gustavo was, he said in the last episode, pretty much, he was gonna go find out the dude that's getting in his way, and that's what it was. I called it. He pretty much threw him out the window. So then we get a scene with Julia talking to Teddy, and she's kind of just bringing up good old memories and trying to soften him up into trying to change his life, get him out of this. And I think Teddy thinks she's hiding something, but it's going to be interesting to see how their whole storyline is going to play out. Is Teddy going to find out what's really going on with Julia? And, because she's very suspicious of her. I think I could be wrong. So anyways, Mel gets dropped off, and things are weird between Franklin and her now, and you could really see it in his face that he is really upset about her throwing her life away to crack cocaine, and Andre still doesn't know what's going on with her, and she's going down this very angry path where she's now upset that she can't find the money. Now, I don't know what this is going to lead to. Is she going to do something to her father? Is she just going to go out in the street and just, man, this episode was packed with a lot. I hope I covered everything in this episode. What do you guys think about this episode as a whole? I think these last few episodes are going to be very, very interesting. To see where Mel's going, to see where Franklin's going. Is somebody going to die at the end of this? Who knows? But let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below. And hit that like button, hit that sub button if you're new. And follow me on Twitter at PerpMinded. And I'll check y'all out next week for episode 8. I'm out. Peace.
What made that comedian different from that comedian? And it was the strength. The inner strength, the style, the confidence they had, not being afraid to fail. And if I could transcend that to a lot of people, whatever, it might not be comedy, it might be in the workplace, to give them that drive, that's when I Ain't Scared of You came from. You know, you can't be afraid.